Can they do it tonight? The Toronto Blue Jays going to Game 4 now and hope to end the Yankees season.
Yes, so our team coverage of the ALDS continues this morning with CP24's Phil Perkins live in New York City and Courtney Hills outside of the Rogers Center. Phil, let's start from you. You talked about how rowdy and wild the crowd was last night. We saw those two fans, run out onto the field when Vladdy was about to hit. So that kind of gives you, the feel for what you're dealing with when you go to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, those guys are they're just adolescents being dumb. But like in the stands, like the crap talk, the yelling at Blue Jays fans. Like I was surprised Blue Jay fans came. Some of them just in groups of 2. I'm like, you're gonna get it. But I think you really get it if you're holding a camera with a light and the Blue Jays just squandered a 6-1 lead and the Yankees crawl right back into this series. Then it's almost just like mosquitoes flying to a light, and then it just goes nuts. But the stadium, I tell you, it was a roller coaster of emotion. They were down and out when the Blue Jays were up 6-1. The place, as I mentioned before, was dead quiet. And then when Aaron Judge hit that 3-run home run in the 4th, barely fair, dinged off the foul pole. I was outside when that happened. It erupted, almost like how the Rogers Center would erupt in a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Grand Slam. They had staff from the Yankee Stadium running outside at 161st, just losing their minds. They had children running around on the concourse going nuts. It was a celebration for sure for the Yankees. And Josh Schneider and the Blue Jays, they need to regroup and come back and try. You could end it again, potentially tonight, and not have to go back to Toronto, have a do or die in Game 5. Here's what Josh Schneider had to say about what went wrong.
Thought we did a really good job against Carlos. Kind of just didn't really play our game, really, when you look at kind of things as a whole. Just defensively, you get extra outs and things like that, and they can do that in a hurry, So it's not one thing, it's a couple things, and their bullpen did a really good job, and we just gave them extra outs.
Yeah, just way too many errors, and I messed up on that stat. Out of the last 34 teams to go 0-2, losing 2 games on the road, only 21% actually ended up winning the series. So again, stats are in the Blue Jays' favor. They just got to get the job done tonight. No errors. That's the key. Looks like Louis Varland getting the start for Toronto tonight in this bullpen day. Back to you.
Okay, that's Phil Perkins live in the Bronx this morning. Phil, appreciate this.
Okay, let's check in with Courtney Hills now, live outside the Rogers Center. I know everyone here in Toronto, Courtney, and of course throughout the nation was glued to their television set yesterday cheering for the Blue Jays, and it started off so well with Vladdy's home run. We had a 5-run lead at one point, but that quickly changed.
Yeah, it did. And I mean, that's what Blue Jays fans are talking about this morning, guys. You mentioned we're just outside of Rogers Center. We're starting to see a few more people who are out and about, many of them thinking about the game, what went wrong, how disappointing it was. But I will say most of the fans I'm talking to tell me it's still okay. In some cases, they kind of expected it. I mean, of course, you're hoping for the sweep. That didn't happen, as you guys mentioned. New York came back, and as they say, fans, disappointed, but still feeling pretty good about tonight's game, Game 4. I'll let you hear from some people who I talked to earlier.
I think playing away, maybe there was a little bit of jitters there. It's always hard to close out a team on the road. So I think they gave it their best effort. They were up, 6-1, and unfortunately the ball didn't bounce their way. Not really concerned. I think Game 4 is the game that they need to get. I think for Toronto fans just to be able to kind of relax a little bit. We don't want to go in a Game 5 situation. So hopefully they can get Game 4.
I still see them as winners, and I'm still very hopeful. So I think that they'll do wonderful.
So a bit of an emotional roller coaster there yesterday. I'm sure it will continue again today, guys. All eyes on Game 4. The Jays lead the series 2-1. First pitch just after 7 o'clock tonight in New York. Over to you.
Okay, absolutely. So Phil Perkins live in the Bronx, Courtney Hills live in Toronto, Jen and I live here in Scarborough, all crossing our fingers for a Jays win tonight. Okay, the coverage continues coming up. Thanks, folks.